Hey everybody, welcome to the first episode of Miller's Old Mitsubishis. My name's Christopher Miller and these are my Colts, and I'd like to just kind of introduce myself and tell you a little bit about my passion and what this is all about here. Like I said, my name's Christopher Miller and I live in upstate New York. It's real rural up here. When people think of New York, they think New York City, but it's quite the contrary up here. It's all cows and corn and mountains and lakes and more like rolling hills than mountains. But we've got some mountains up north, and if you've ever been here, it's really pretty country. Real nice place to go driving. And I like cars that are unique, and I'm really passionate about cars. It's something I've always loved them. I've always been attracted to them my entire life. My uncles always had cool cars when I was growing up. My mom even had a Laser when I was a little kid that could talk. It had a turbo with a boost gauge and everything, and thought it was pretty cool. So I fell in love with cars, old cars and unique cars, and I like fast cars too. But I really decided that I like stuff that's unusual and stuff that you don't see every day and that you might not see again, not stuff that's so unusual that it's one-off or anything like that. But I decided that I like old Mitsubishis. When I was 19 years old, I had a 1988 Chrysler Conquest TSI, and at that point it was 13 years old, so it wasn't that old. It was a Fiji blue sports handling package car. It had the wide body, and it had staggered rims. It had 8s in the front, 9s in the back. They're pretty cool cars, and I've been pretty passionate about them ever since. I haven't had one in 19 years because I'm twice that age now. I'm 38 now, and but for the past 7 or so years, I've had a product of Mitsubishi. I bought a 86 Dodge Ram 50, which is the same thing as a Mitsubishi Mighty Max pickup truck. It's a sport package, so it's got bucket seats and a center console with the gauges and everything. And it's a pretty cool little truck. I drove it around for a couple years with a carburetor on it, and decided I wanted to boost it, so I put a Star Quest, that's what we call it, Star Unit, Chrysler Conquest, make Star Quest, that's what we call it. Anyway, I put one of those engines in it, put a bigger turbo on it. The engine was built for it. It had some nice rods, and it was built well. That's something that I don't like to do, is to skimp on the build, because later you're paying for it anyway. So there's no sense in shooting yourself in the foot or stepping over a dime to pick up a penny, so to say. So I like to do that right, and so I've wanted one of these Colts for quite a while too, and just recently, I guess it was about 2 months ago, I came across this thing down in Yonkers. Bought it from a guy named Juan, and he had gotten it from California. It was out in Richmond, California, and he brought it east, and he was going to rotary swap it, and thank goodness I got to it first. No offense, Juan, but I want to keep it Mitsubishi, you know what I mean? I know nothing against rotaries or rotary swaps. Incredible machines, and I love them too. If anybody wants to sell me a pickup truck, that'd be great. Repo, that'd be ideal. But anyway, I really like these Colts, and I found this thing. This is built in January of 1971, and it was purchased at La Brea Dodge in Los Angeles, California. And so it's a California car. It's real solid. It's actually really straight. The lines are really good on it. It's very dry, so not a lot of rust at all. A couple tiny little spots. It's all flash rust wherever you see it. But it looks like it's sat in a garage a lot. It's got a lot of little dents and dings. Looks like little kids have their bicycles and tricycles next to it. But other than that, it's a really great car. I mean, the paint in the trunk is still shiny. I'll show you that. Just check out these pictures down below. I'm going to put a link to some pictures also in the comment section, or above the comment section. This is my first video. Don't kill me. You'll see it. But anyway, that is the start of the story. So welcome. Thanks for joining. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow me. We're going to make that the nicest GTO in the United States. So one of the most important things you can do when you're taking apart your classic car for a restoration or for whatever reason, especially if it's going to be a while before you put it back together, you should always put your parts in a safe place, and you should really label them also. This is a pretty simple part, so I put it all in one bag, but sometimes if you're taking apart an engine or something, you might want to put every part in its own bag and label it, and sometimes I put them in order of the way that I take them apart. But this stuff's pretty simple. I even put the date on it just because I had a spot for it. So this is the hardtop seat hardware, it says. So this car, I just call this one the hardtop. This is a 16L to some people. Some people call it a Dodge Colt 1600. It's got a lot of different names. But anyway, I call it the hardtop, so that's the way I've labeled it. And I've also put these trim pieces that go between the seats and the frame. Those are going to go in this same bin because it's all kind of associated. So that's just kind of the way I do it. You can do it whatever way works for you, but I suggest that you do it no matter what you do, because it saves you a lot of headaches, and you know, you don't want to put the wrong bolts in the wrong places. You know, sometimes they're not long enough, they're not short enough, the thread pitch isn't quite the same, so it's really important to try to keep that stuff organized.